Due to anticipated snowfall, the school district will be closed tomorrow, March 14th, 2023.
Pretty intense out right now.
Hey guys, it's Allison here from Axes and Aprons, and today I'm coming to you with a video about winter storm prep. Today we're supposed to get a storm, and it's about 6 to 10 inches, I guess, maybe more. It's actually already starting, but I just want to kind of show you what we do to prep for a storm. Quite often we lose power here. I actually did a video about us losing power for 13 hours and kind of a review of our wood stove. But that's not unusual here. I mean, we live in the country and there's a lot of dead ash trees here in New York State. I think that's prevalent throughout the country right now. But when the ash gets heavy with snow or ice or just wet in general, it can sometimes just break off, and we are having that a lot this year. I think we've lost power 3 or 4 times, and one time though was 13 hours. That's a long time to be without power, especially when you have things that rely on power. The first thing that I would say for sure is to make sure you have a heat source, your shelter. Like I said, we heat 100% with wood. So something I'll do today is I'm gonna move all this wood here into our wood box and then restock that all the way up, so it'll go about 4 feet high. So I'll bring that in. So it's just, that's more of a convenience thing. Our wood is seasoned already. But that's just more convenience to make sure that we have all the wood we need on hand and we're not having to go out in the storm and we don't have to worry about it later. So I'll make sure I get that done. But things you need to think of is if you heat with electric or, you know, a different form, what are you going to do if you don't have that power? So here's my little buddy Thor. But yeah, if you don't have power, you got to have an alternate source of heat. And for us, works really good. Live in country, you can easily do a wood stove, and yeah, we definitely love that wood stove. And I have a video which I can link here probably, and you can check that out. The second thing you want to make sure you have is water. We have a well which has a 50-gallon holding tank, but that is not a lot. Like, that's not going to get you very long. We definitely ran out of water in the tank when we lost power for a really long time, and we ended up using creek water to flush our toilet. So it wasn't the worst case scenario. I mean, we could have easily gone and got the composting toilet and brought that in and did that. It just didn't seem necessary. I mean, if we were going for a longer power outage, I guess, that we probably should have and could have done that. We would have saved our water, which we could have used for bathing, I guess. But we always also have on hand drinkable water. Something I'll make sure I do today is fill a couple of these up, and that's just to refill our Berkey, which I will fill completely today at the end of the night. Probably I'll make sure I have that 100% filled up, and then I'll have these on hand. I really don't have these on hand that much for drinking water. It's more to make sure that if we lose power, I can put some water down our pipes so they don't freeze, because without that well going, our pipes are really susceptible to freeze. Here is our Berkey. It's a little hard to see. I can't remember what size Berkey that is. Ooh.
This is an important message from Maine Central School District. To listen to the message, press 1, or simply stay on the line. Good afternoon, Central School families. Due to anticipated snowfall, the Maine Central School District will be closed tomorrow, March 14th, 2023. Today's evening activities, including the Board of Education meeting, will still occur. Thank you, be safe, and stay warm.
What are the odds that I'm making this video for winter prep and my kids' school gets closed tomorrow? I actually was really hoping that they would close because I wanted to take them out in the snow. Last time we had a really nice snowfall. The kids had jujitsu and they didn't have time to go outside and play, and they were so bummed. Wow, that's super cool. Okay, moving on. I was talking about the Berkey. And I probably filmed really bad there. But, so this is our Berkey. I can't remember the size of our Berkey, but I think it holds 2.5 gallons, maybe 3 gallons of water up in the top reservoir to filter down to here. I don't really remember, but we fill 2 of these every single day in the Berkey, and that puts us through for 24 hours. So if I fill 2 of these up and I don't have to use them for the well, then we're fine. Also, I can always use the creek, which is right here. It's 20 feet away. I can always use the creek and boil water if we need to, or just use the creek water to flush our pipes. But while I'm here, look at, these are my sweet potato slips. Super cool. These 3 sweet potatoes are from the store. This is my only sweet potato left from my garden, and I just took these slips off of it, and I have like a couple slips starting still, but the only one producing slips so far is mine. Super cool. And then I also, I actually recently bought these because after we were out of power for 13 hours, it was just annoying to have flashlights and candles and stuff. So I bought these, and they're really great, and we have on hand extra oil for them. But they produce a lot of light for us. So the next thing that you need to prep for is food. I wouldn't say that we actually have to think about that and prep for that right now because we are preppers. We've been prepping since right before the pandemic started, and we have more than 6 months of supply, you know, like we're good. So we are not going to be those ones that are running to the store in a hurry to make sure that we have food for the next couple of days. We are good to go on that. But if you're not a prepper, okay, make sure you have gone to the store and gotten, you know, your supplies. I would definitely make sure that you have food that you don't need to cook if you cook with electric. We cook everything on the wood stove. We have a wood cook stove, so we're also good in that way. But I say all these things that like I don't really have to worry about and do because these are preps I have made months ago before winter started. So another thing that we do for winter prep around here is make sure our animals are all set in their food and their bedding. So for our dogs, we just make sure that we have their dog food, and today, actually yesterday we got a big bag of dog food sent in to us, so that's all set to go. And then for my chickens, I clean their coop today. I do that every single time I know there's gonna be a winter storm that's like, unless it's like back to back. And that's just to give them the option to stay in if they want. And then I also make sure that they have their food, and they do. So again, we have that prepper mindset. We always have their food ready to go. We don't make sure that we don't have any overlaps of them not having food. I feel like a lot of people forget about the animals, especially if it's just like a house dog and house cat, because like you're just thinking mostly about yourself, which is great. But I just feel like you need to make sure that you have everything you need for your animals. Now, I would say the last thing that we do to make sure that we're prepared for a winter storm is to make sure our snowshoes are out and that our plow is ready to go. Now, yesterday we were thinking about the fact that we're gonna get snow, so we backed our four-wheeler into our barn so we could just pull right out and go. And then we honestly always have our snowshoes out on our porch just in case. You talking? Yeah. We always have our snowshoes ready just in case we get snow so that we don't have to make it a hassle to go get them. But it is really nice to have them because every single time we have a winter storm here, again, I spoke about those ash trees, they fall like crazy on our property. We just like to go out and investigate the next day to see what kind of damage has been done and what we need to do to clear it. We had a storm about 3 weeks ago and we had like seriously like 15 down trees in our creek, and we had to pull those out or they were blocking the water. So the snowshoes are really good for when you're just trying to get out, especially when you have a lot of land and you have a lot of walking to do. But it's also fun, and the kids really like to do it and get a good cardio workout as well. I forgot there's one more thing that I do, and that's charge our Jackery. Our Jackery is not going to power our house or anything, and we have the 500 watt one. But my daughter has type 1 diabetes, so she has an insulin pump. So it's always good to just for us specifically to have a source of power no matter what. I guess we could always use our car. The Jackery is just easier though. We can plug our pump in right there. It also can charge our phones if we need that. It also has a flashlight on it, so a lot of convenient things. But I'll make sure that that's at 100% before we end the night tonight, just so I know that we're good to go if we do lose power. So a lot of this stuff I said is more like if you live in the country and you're like maybe homesteading or you just live very rural. If you live in the city, I think your needs are going to be much different, and the things you're going to need to do are going to be much different. That's what we do here. A lot of the stuff, like I said, is already done just because we're prepper and we have a prepper mindset. These are just some things to keep in mind so you don't have any problems if you have a winter storm. But I'm honestly excited to have it. I want to get out in the snow. I want to take the kids out in the snow tomorrow. Obviously, you heard that they don't have school. So I think it's going to be a good day tomorrow, but I'm kind of excited for this storm. Hopefully it's good enough snow that I can take you guys snowshoeing tomorrow and you can kind of see what we get up to the day after. Okay, so I got the Jackery out to check its percentage. and it's at 96%, so I'm not going to charge it. It's good to go. But again, this is really just for if our phones die or maybe want to plug a light in, but mainly it's for my daughter's insulin pump. And that reminds me that if you need to prep for medicine, that you should make sure that you have that as well. Okay, so the Burger King is filled, the dishes are done, so the last thing we need to do is just get 2 of these filled up. And again, this is like, I don't really think we're going to have that bad of a storm. If I thought it was going to be really bad, I could always fill the bathtub up, but I think this is going to be fine. All we really need it for is drinking water. We're good to go for showering. We can go a day. Didn't really snow much last night, but it is really starting to come down now. My husband said he passed 4 cars and ditches on the way to work. So, I guess we're gonna wait a little bit more for this snow to settle down, and then we're gonna go outside, go snowshoeing, let the kids get some fresh air, and I guess first we'll make some cookies and do some snow day stuff, play some games, and then we'll have some fun outside. I didn't think they'd want to come out. And this is exactly why I cleaned their coat the day before. I normally don't put their food in their coop, but just because they don't want to come out today, I'm just going to do it for today. And I'll go back in later and get it out. You excited? Well, we definitely got snow. Didn't come overnight like everyone thought it was going to. It held off until the morning. And now it's just going like crazy sideways snow. Little treetop ball. Out right now. Ooh, I can't even breathe. It's taking my breath away. This is where the deer skeleton was. I don't see any remnants, so I wonder it's either buried or they got dragged far away. I guess I'll have to ask my kids. Gonna be honest, don't really think I should be in here right now because of the wind. I'm just worried about trees falling. So I'm gonna try to hurry back. But I took my hood off so I can hear better in case a tree snaps. You go into the woods and it's so much calmer. Way less snow too.
one pine tree. Well, this will be fun. Over here. Ooh, that's all blocked. Oh man, the trail is like totally washed out up here. I should have known. Gets like this. There's my cabin though. Almost there. Gotta get through this mess though. Oh man. It's all slosh. Okay, gotta go back on that side. Look at that little cabin. Peeking through the woods. Love it. Love it. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure you're prepared for winter storms. And also make sure you're prepared to have fun in them too. See you on the next one. Little tracks all over the place. That'll be nice.